Hi, my name is Taylor, and Stratics is a really big deal to me. I first found Stratics about 13 years ago when I was out on the internet searching for Ultima Online information. And UO to me at the time was this most immersive, most magical experience that I'd ever had. And Stratics captured that experience for me. Stratics was, to me, the most magical site on the internet. And when I went away to school, I stopped playing UO for a while, but I kept checking Stratics because it helped me relive that feeling. When I finished school, I started playing UO again, and eventually in 2009 I was invited to start writing for Stratics, and this is a responsibility that really weighed on me. This was something that I treated with a lot of gravity because it was a site that I'd been reading for, at the time, 9 years. And so I would block off my weekends that I would use on Saturdays to conduct my interviews about guilds and establishments on the Atlantic Shard. And on Sunday I would be editing them for submission to Stratics. And it's something that I genuinely enjoy just as a UO Stratics volunteer. But in May 2010, things got a little bit difficult around Stratics. It's not a secret that we were acquired by another company, and the transition in ownership was indelicate. It was really hard. A lot of people left, and to the new owner's credit, they did pay the bills, but they didn't really understand what Stratics was, what made Stratics special to all of us for such a long time. And over the next 3 years, it continued to be a big challenge. You'll remember that we had a challenge just staying up sometimes. And we really couldn't make the decisions that we needed to better Stratics, and we truly felt a lot of pressure to make Stratics be something that it was not, and that it was never intended to be, and that it really couldn't be. In fact, things got so grave at some points that as early as the beginning of this year, it wasn't clear to a lot of us whether the company was going to just decide to liquidate its assets, erase Stratics from the internet after 15 years. It was that bad. So earlier this year, Airmid, Karina, and I started a new company, Valor Corp, and we went to the Stratics staff and said, listen, what do you want to do? Do you want to continue with ownership with this company? This bigger company might have more resources to invest in Stratics, but could also make the decision to pull the plug. Or do you want to put it back in staff hands? If you'll let us make a bid for ownership, then we will make sure that it goes back to the people that care about it most, Stratics volunteers. Stratics staff voted, and we ended up making the bid for ownership, and ultimately Valor Corp did acquire Stratics, which is a really big deal for us for a few different reasons. And you'll see some changes, but I think that the changes will be really a return to the past. What's old is new again, as is the theme of our anniversary this year. So one of the biggest changes is just a change in the values, a return to our original values. That's a lot different than what it looked like before when we were owned by a company that didn't really understand us. So let's talk about some of the new values. First of all, Stratics is not a business. Stratics is a community. Valor Corp is a business, and Valor Corp allows us to do things like invest in better technology for Stratics and provide a professional redesign of Stratics.com and incentivize all content creation roles and a lot of other cool things. But Stratics is not for making money. Stratics is for supporting you, for investing in our staff, and for making friends and supporting our folks in the industry, our partners in the industry. That's what Stratics is. Secondly, Stratics' most valuable asset is not its legacy. It's not brand recognition, it's not technology, it's not even pages and posts. Stratics' most valuable asset is people. Our staff, our readers, our community members, and our friends in the industry, including some folks that you're going to see later today in interviews. That is what makes Stratics different. That's what makes us special. And third, another value, key value moving forward, and this really relates more to staff, is when somebody comes to work for Stratics, our question will never be, what can we get out of this staff member? No, no. Our question will always be, how can we invest in this person to help them gain marketable skills that they can use to go out and find their dream job? That's what we want to do at Stratics with our staff, is invest in them. And we realize that that means that some folks won't stay around forever. Good. If they can find jobs doing what they love doing, that is our goal. That is our goal for staff. And Valor Corp can even provide some of those opportunities. So those are some of the ways that our values are returning to our roots. Some other changes are occurring too, including a total redesign of the way we organize Stratics. So we've refocused kind of our resources, and we've organized Stratics into 3 broad divisions: our publishing division, our human capital division, and our operations division. So our publishing division is kind of different in a couple of different ways. First of all, instead of having kind of a network of autonomous portals run by these managing editors, we've really reorganized the publishing division to be a single division, to really work together as a unit. So that's one thing, that everything is now being organized under our editor-in-chief, who can provide leadership, guidance for that entire publishing apparatus. Secondly, and maybe more importantly, Stratics.com, or as it used to be called, Stratics Central, tried for many years unsuccessfully to be a general gaming news site. But that's not what Stratics is. Stratics is a fan site. So another big change with our publishing division is we're putting aside all of that effort to try and be all things to all games, and instead we're choosing a few titles, including the ones that are represented here today, that we feel really passionate about as a staff community, and we're pouring all of our resources into supporting those titles, publishing fan site news, strategy, and statistics. That's what publishing is going to be about now at Stratics. We also have our human capital division, and this is a totally new division and venture for us. And they're there to make sure that we are providing those opportunities, that investment in our staff community. We want them to have the very best training that they can have. We want to create a mentoring program where new folks can partner up with folks who've been doing this for a while. We want to provide opportunities for really a proving ground to learn any skill that people are interested in, whether it is community management or reporting or marketing or web design, whatever it is. We want to find opportunities for people to learn and to use those talents so that they can go and find a job that really is their dream. And a flagship effort of our human capital division, and this is kind of our first big public announcement of this, is we are going to create this year-long internship program that involves rotational tours. So an intern comes and starts the program, maybe they'll spend a couple of months as a reporter. We'll provide that training, learn how to be a good journalist. And then maybe they'll move to community management for a while and learn about branding and marketing and social media management and community interaction and support. And then maybe they'll have some time to learn about forum management, administration, or moderation. A lot of different skills that we want to give to people so that at the end of that year, we can graduate them, help them with their resumes, help prepare for interviews, and find them opportunities either through Valor Corp or find them opportunities directly to try and help them do what they love professionally. So that's a really exciting new part about Stratics. And then last but not least, we also have our operations division, which basically includes everything that's not publishing and human capital. It's a big division. And that includes a few improvements as well. And the purpose is really to better support our community and our readers. Under the operations division, of course, we have our forums, we also have our social media effort. You'll probably notice that we've been a lot more interactive that way. That's a segment of our community that we want to interact with and engage with as best we can too. We want to support them as well. We have our technical director and a technical administrator under the operations division as well. You probably notice that Stratics has a lot better uptimes. That's because instead of me trying to go behind the scenes and push buttons when I can barely turn on a computer, we have a guy, our technical director and our technical administrator too, who just can go and perform magic as far as I'm concerned and do things that I could never dream of doing. Provide that better technical support too as well. So a lot of things organized under our operations division to make sure that we're providing our community and our friends in the industry the very best support that we can. So in closing, I guess I'll just end by thanking you, the most important thing to us. And whether you are a staff member here at Stratics or going to be a staff member or are a reader or a community member, or you're just rediscovering us, or you're a friend of ours who's working in the industry professionally, thank you for your support. Thank you for your encouraging words to Stratics over the past 16 years. And listen, even though some things will be changing, I think you'll see that they're really more of a return to the things that make Stratics what it is and have made Stratics what it is from the very beginning over these past 16 years. And listen, our mission is still, as it was in the beginning, to make sure that we are facilitating opportunities for developers, for community members, for readers to find the information they need and to interact in a positive way. Thank you, and to all of my folks at Stratics, happy 16th anniversary.